Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. Was my face when that live started just like... Anyway, I already see we've got a birthday king here in the chat right now. Happy birthday to Shane Shaji. Thank you so much for the super chat. Giving out gifts on your own birthday. Like, you are a legend. Thank you so much. Our house guests of the day are Peggy Reed, Ken Wong, and Shane Shaji. Happy birthday. So thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we really, really do appreciate it so incredibly much. So thank you again. And I also want to thank all of our super chatters from yesterday. Hello, everyone. I want to thank all of our super chatters. We've got Alex Garza, Jefferson Tucker, A.R. Chan, 1785. Got it this time. ORPW, 90. Tatum Miller, Kansas James, CA to VA, Christina Harper Black. We've got Mr. Roybot, Tooltips with Tommy, Julie Smith and Nini, and Gio Epe. Thank you all so much. You are incredible, and we really could not do this without you. Seriously. All right, so when we left off yesterday, they had just finished the Power of Veto competition. Christmas was the host, and the players were Tyler, Janelle, Kaiser, and 3 extras, Memphis, Cody, and Bailey. So it sounds like it was some sort of a puzzle competition, and it seems like it was played in rounds. And it sounds like Tyler blew everybody out of the water in the first round. Everybody else got like 4 minutes or something, and he got like 39 seconds. Insane. But Tyler came in second for this competition. He did not win. Cody was the big winner. That's a real power duo right there, guys. Cody and Tyler tearing things up. So it's not looking good for Janelle and Kaiser with a Cody power veto win, obviously. I mean, what are the chances he's going to use the power veto? Is it possible to have a less than 0 chance? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking nominations are going to stay the same. So after the competition, Danny, Nicole, and Christmas were in the storage room, and Danny says, Memphis obviously threw the POV comp. Like, that was the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. So Nicole's like, what do we take away from that? Christmas says Memphis didn't want to win so that he could just keep playing the middle. He wouldn't have to have the pressure on him if he won. Like, am I going to save Janelle or Kaiser, or am I going to not and stick with my alliance? So Danny says obviously Memphis was trying to let Janelle win because he wants her to stay. That's not the case, but good try. So Christmas says she heard Janelle is just waiting for the power veto ceremony to be over, and then she's going to start blowing stuff up. So Danny tells Nicole to prepare herself, because everybody thinks, obviously, Janelle would go after Nicole, right? So then Danny's like, Christmas, who told you that? And Christmas says a very reliable source told her that Janelle's going to be popping off, but she doesn't want to reveal who said it. Ooh, Danny and Nicole were sketched out by that. They were not happy that Christmas would not reveal her source, and she's like withholding information from them. So that was not a good look. But Nicole is then trying to figure out, like, what would Janelle say to her? And Danny's like, well, she'd probably call out me and you and blah, blah, blah. But Nicole's like, no, she only wants to ruin my game, and that's it. Oh, my God. You're the one who called her out the other day during the slop thing. So I'm hoping we're going to get to see that. I'm sure we will in tonight's episode to see what the hell was actually going on there. But I love how she acts like this is coming from nowhere and she's completely innocent when Janelle hasn't said shit to her. All she said was whiny, whiny, whiny after Nicole tried to call out Janelle. So then Christmas is asking, do you think that Kaiser will try and sacrifice himself so that he can go home and see his kid and not like potentially be stuck in the jury or anything like that? And Nicole and Danny agree it doesn't matter because they have the votes and they decide that Janelle is going. I don't want either to go. So then Danny leaves And Nicole and Christmas keep talking. And Nicole tells Christmas that she's scared of what will come out of Janelle's mouth. Not because she thinks it's going to wreck her game, but because it'll hurt her feelings. Oh my God. So she says that Janelle just wants to make this narrative negative for her, and I just want her out. Girl, you're doing a good job of making your own narrative negative. Like, you're the one who's creating that. Oh, God. Okay, so then Memphis comes into the storage room, and he says, all right, I talked to Tyler earlier, and I told him that Janelle should be the one to go this week. He says that Janelle has a better chance than Kaiser of getting her claws into people and pulling them in to work with her. And Nicole's like, yeah, Janelle also has a better chance of winning a power from America, because they've been speculating that now that the safety suite twist is ending, they're thinking the next one could possibly be some sort of America's vote. Yeah. So they're like, obviously, if Janelle's in the house, she's going to get whatever power America's voting on. So Memphis says, you know, if you think about it too, once Janelle is gone, Kaiser is going to be spinning out of control, digging his own grave. He's going to be a dead fish in the water. So Memphis says, that's just my thought. Everyone in the group should give their input, and then we'll make a decision based on that. So the girls agree, yeah, Janelle's a better player. She can probably do more damage than Kaiser. And Kaiser is not great in competitions. He never really has been. So they feel like it's the right call to get rid of Janelle. So then Nicole and Christmas go and talk alone after this in the photo bedroom. And they just think it's so funny that now Memphis is saying, oh, we should see what everyone in the group thinks. Like, everyone in the group should give their input. He wasn't saying that last week when he was HOH, but now all of a sudden he cares about the group. So they're pretty skeptical about Memphis. But Christmas says if Memphis had done what he needed to do last week, this would not be a problem. Oh, so then, oh my God. Nicole is asking Christmas for advice on how to handle a potential confrontation with Janelle this week. I would not be asking Christmas for advice on how to deal with a confrontation. I'm just saying. But anyway, Christmas says if Janelle starts like calling you out or whatever, don't engage with her. It's going to make you look guilty. And she says it's important to establish a hard boundary with her. If she starts like coming into your space or whatever, tell her, I don't appreciate that tone. I don't think Janelle's going to care if Nicole says that. So anyway, Nicole's like, yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to walk away. Then why are you asking for her advice? But anyway, Christmas also says you can tell her, I'm not going to engage in conversation with you if it's going to be hostile. And Nicole's like, hostile means, oh my God. She says, you know, I use the word sometimes, but I just want to make sure 100% like what it means. Okay. So anyway, Janelle and Kaiser, let's change it up a little bit. Janelle and Kaiser were chatting on the Sky Bridge, and they're really bummed that neither of them could pull out a Power of Veto win. So now they have no control over what's going to happen. So Janelle says, you know what? One of us was going to go anyway, no matter what. Even if one of us did win the Power of Veto, the other one was still going to go home. So it was going to suck no matter what. So Kaiser says, you know, should we try and cut a deal with Tyler? Like, is there any chance that we can make something happen here? We can go to him, tell him, look, you won fair and square, but the house already hates us. So this could be a good opportunity for you to backdoor somebody else who might be a threat to your game. We'll still be a huge target for everybody else, and we'll promise to go after floaters. It's a nice thought, but there's no way. So Janelle says, we're both on the block because they want to split us up. Like, that's what it is. They want to split us up. And Kaiser's like, well, we could tell Tyler that we have a bigger target on us when we're together. And it's not going to, you know, it's not going to be as big when it's just one of us. So we might like be able to slip under the cracks or something. And Janelle's like, no. Tyler is not going to want to make himself a target by doing that. She doesn't think that group's going to go for it. They're not. But she says Kaiser can try if he wants. Like, she's not saying don't try anything. So Janelle feels that she is the target this week. Yes, that is correct. And she's saying, you know, maybe it's going to be better for your game if I leave. Maybe you will be able to go under the radar and stick around for a while. So she's telling him, if that is the case, I don't want you to risk damaging your game to try and get us both to stay if it's like the tiniest possibility of it working. You know what I mean? Like, don't ruin your game to try and make something happen that's almost impossible. Oh, so Kaiser says it just sucks. So he asked Janelle, what if I try to convince them to send me out? And Janelle's like, I think that would backfire. And there's no way that they're going to use the power veto. Like, that's not going to do anything for us. So Kaiser's like, but you don't think that you could get further in this game than I can? And Janelle's like, I am a massive target. She says, maybe she could make it another 2 weeks. Maybe. And she's right. Like, I think Kaiser is definitely more capable of sticking around and flying under the radar. Like, if Janelle stays, she's just going to be a huge target the whole time. I don't see how they would let her just kind of slide through. So Janelle said you could have more of a chance to actually play this game. Oh my God. And Kaiser says, no way. It's been amazing seeing you again. It's been so long. And they talk about how they've had such a great time together. This is such a beautiful friendship. I just love it so much. But Janelle tells him, look, you're going to need to chill out so that you'll actually have a shot after I'm gone. You can't be doing all this like crazy stuff. You can't. You got to like fall back a little bit, let people take each other out. You can't be all bleh. So she's telling him, just relax. I think maybe Ian will want to work with you, especially if I'm not here anymore, which we've heard him talk about with Nicole before. So it's definitely a possibility. So then the feeds go down for the beginning of Christmas's punishment, because remember, she was Enzo's +1 for the safety suite this week. So she is safe, but she does have this punishment. And it is to take care of a star-shaped pillow like it's a baby. Is this like 8th grade home ec class when they have like the take home this fake baby and see like what it would be like to be a teen mom kind of thing? That's what it seems like. But she got like obviously the star baby, a stroller, baby Bjorn thing, like bottles, diapers, all this stuff, like all these, like a crib, like all this baby stuff. And she has to do all sorts of stuff with this pillow, like change its diaper and sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to it. I guess they already paid for them, or no, I guess that's probably copyright free, so they can keep using that. Because didn't we hear that song earlier in the season for that challenge? Yeah, she's got to do that. She's got to like show off the baby, make faces at it. She's got to do laps in the backyard, like all sorts of crazy stuff. So I also noticed that the TV screen in the living room said, "An all-star is born." I do feel like I'm going off the deep end, so it makes sense. It lines up. It checks out. But they were also talking about how Enzo's like the dad of the star baby because he won the safety suite. And he kept calling the baby miscellaneous, like Miss Alanius. But I think Christmas was also calling the baby Enza after its dad. So anyway, I don't know about this punishment, you guys. Kind of like, I don't know if this is in the best taste. Going off of what some people were saying, Christmas said when they found out about it, like it really took a serious turn that production was probably not expecting. It sounds like they played like the baby crying sound like over the loudspeaker, and like there was a really like serious emotional reaction from like all the parents in the house. It's messed up. There's like a lot of people playing this season that have kids, and like a lot of them are young kids, so that's really diabolical. But anyway, Enzo, Cody, and Tyler were up in the HOH room, and Cody was also talking about like the baby crying, and he says that it took a turn that he was not expecting. Like, this is not a bunch of young, like 20-somethings in the house. Like, there's older people that have kids, and it just seems like kind of insensitive. But anyway, Enzo, time to talk about game. Enzo says, we're running shit. We're going to cut through everyone, yo. So he asks, who are we voting out this week? Is it Janelle or Kaiser? And Tyler says, it's up to you guys. I don't really care. And Cody's like, all right, well, if we look at it this way, the girls already think that there's a guys alliance, which there is now. Enzo, Cody, Tyler, and kind of David. I feel like David is sort of in that alliance, but he's not like fully in the fold, which is sad. But anyway, Cody's saying they already think there's a guys alliance. If we send out, this will be the third girl in a row if Janelle is evicted. That's going to drive the girls crazy and get them all paranoid. I mean, they should be paranoid because there's a guys alliance. But this is an interesting take from Cody, because we've heard him say that he would rather see Kaiser go before Janelle, because he feels like Kaiser is better at like stirring things up like on a psychological level. So it's interesting that he's like using this guys alliance thing to push what he wants. But Tyler's like, all right, well, we should see what the girls want. He's talking about like Danny and Nicole. Who else is in that alliance? I'm trying to think which alliance they're even referring to. I guess they're talking about Slick Six, right? So that's Danny, Nicole. Who's the other girl in that? I don't remember. There's just too many alliances. It's not Christmas, is it? I don't think so. It's Day. Wait, are Day and Bailey both in that? How? I don't know. But anyway, Cody says that Danny and Nicole want Janelle out, like for sure. So Cody says David, they switch gears. David makes him nervous because he's got puppy eyes for Day. That has been coming up lately. Ugh. So he's worried, like, what if David tells Day everything that we're saying? Like, we can't have that. That's not good. I don't know. So then Enzo, I mean, he hasn't been very forthcoming with information so far today, so I wouldn't be worried about that. But anyway, Enzo is saying he loves Danny and Nicole, but they gossip too much, and he cannot trust them. Ouch. The guys agree they can only trust each other. It's typical, right? Typical. So Enzo says they need the girls to take each other out. And Cody's like, nah, I got no problem going after the girls. You know, he's just waiting to go after Day and Bailey. He says the guys are going to win all the competitions. We're going to hold all the power. So we're going to be able to take out whoever we want, whenever we want. That's probably true, and that sucks. Like, the season's going to go down the toilet. That really sucks. So Enzo and Tyler were talking alone later, and we hear a conversation that we've heard a few times now. They're really sketched out by Day and Bailey because those two are always hanging out with Janelle and Kaiser, yet they don't bring back any information with them to like Enzo and Tyler and Cody and all them. So Enzo is pissed that Day is pissed that he gave Christmas the +1 from the safety suite win. So Enzo says the girls need to start winning competitions and earn their keep. They're just going to ride our coattails. Well, maybe you should tell production to stop doing these competitions that are slanted towards the men and the women could not possibly win. Just saying. But Tyler says, yeah, the guys are going to keep winning competitions and force the girls to stay with us, and then we'll just cut the girls before they get a chance to cut us. I could see that happening. And I hate to say it, but I could really see that happening, and it's shady. So Enzo talks about how he's working on pulling in Christmas. He just used the +1 on her. And he's thinking, you know what? Maybe we could use Christmas down the line to take out the girls in the Slick Six. So Enzo says that Dave is scared to play the game. He keeps calling David Dave, and I'm like, who's Dave? He says that he feels like Dave is scared to play the game because he's afraid to like talk game with any of them, and they're supposed to be tight in this guys alliance. But Tyler's like, yeah, it's because the rest of the house is against us. Oh my God. I love Tyler, but like, are you serious right now? You've got everyone like begging on hands and knees to work with you. The house is not against you. What? Because a couple of people are saying that there might be a guys alliance. Give me a break. So Tyler says, oh, me and Cody are going to be seen as the next Janelle and Kaiser. All right. So later, Enzo is chatting with Day on the Sky Bridge, and Enzo is like, Janelle's got to go, right? I mean, he's been playing devil's advocate here and thinking like, well, if we did keep Janelle, that might be good because Nicole and Janelle are going to go after each other, and who else is going to take out Nicole down the line, right? But then he's like, you know what? I just keep thinking about a potential twist coming up, and if America does get to vote for something, they're going to give Janelle power if she's in the house. And Day agrees. She's like, yeah, Janelle's got to go. So Day asks Enzo, how do you feel about everything else? Enzo says, yo, we're dominating and people don't even realize it, yo. So he feels pretty good about everything. And honestly, Enzo is in a great spot, so I don't blame him for feeling good. But at the same time, I feel like he's playing a very similar game to his first time where if he ends up going to the end with like Tyler and Cody, it's going to be just like the Brigade where he's going to lose up against those two guys. But then again, I think he was throwing competitions on his first season, and this season he's playing to win. He's already won 2 competitions. So if he keeps that up, like it might be different and he'll be able to make more of an argument for himself. But I don't know if he's going to be able to beat those guys in those final competitions. They might just cut him. So we'll see what happens, but it seems very similar to his first time around. So I lost my spot. Oh, okay. Enzo says, yeah, we're in a great spot. Cody and Tyler are beasts. Danny has a great social game. She's good at competitions. So then they're just like sharing their thoughts on different house guests. Enzo starts talking about Dave again. He says Dave, he feels like he's scared to play. But he says, you know what? Dave likes you though, Davon. What would Day and David's showman's name be? Would it be like David, but DA apostrophe VID? Like, what would I'm curious what their showman's name would be. But Day says, yeah, I guess like he likes me or whatever. But she says, if it becomes a problem, he's got to go. He's freaking out of here. She's not going to let that ruin her game this season. You better not. So Enzo is then saying he thinks that the next HOH competition is going to be set up for a girl to win because the first 3 HOHs have been guys. We could use a woman in the HOH room. Just saying. So Enzo says, you know, if that's the case, Christmas scares him the most out of the girls. She is going to be strong in endurance competitions. And he says, that's why I'm trying to get her on my good side. So it sounds like Enzo's really trying to smooth things over here with Davon and tell her, like, look, this is why I picked Christmas and not you for the +1, because we're already aligned. But Christmas, she's going to be dangerous. We got to make sure that we're good with her and that we hold some sway with her. So he claims that Christmas doesn't talk game with him. That's a lie. But says that she is nice to him. But then he says something whack. Enzo says, I don't think that anyone in here is in a straight up alliance. It's more like just pairs working together. You are in multiple alliances with Day, who you are talking to right now. So I think he meant like outside of their alliances, but like, come on, man. So then Big Brother gave them a booze delivery. It was 2 bottles of wine and 6 beers. Woo! Let's move on. So Janelle and Kaiser were chatting in the key bedroom. And Kaiser says, this is not like a super fun conversation, but it was very interesting to watch and it made me sad, but also like, oh. So Kaiser said he's been having a really hard time the last few nights. He's okay during the day most of the time, but at night it really hits him. He's having anxiety issues. He feels like all of the walls are closing in on him. That sucks. And he's worried about his family on the outside and how they're doing. He's got a young son and he's wondering like, is he okay? Is he worried, like, where I am? I'm not there to tuck him in at night. He's also worried that people are going to say bad things about him on social media, and it could, like, affect his family. Like, he's not worried about them saying crap about him, and he's like, that's so mean, but he doesn't want it to affect his family. Kaiser, you're amazing. Like, people should only be saying good things. But he says he feels like he's in an insane asylum in this house sometimes, and he's just questioning, like, why he did this in the first place. So Janelle is, encouraging him, telling him it's going to be okay. He's just overthinking things. And Kaiser says he's there because he wanted to use this as a platform again. So Janelle says, you know what? We're both going to be fine after this. We knew coming into it that there was going to be, like, a very slim chance for either of them to actually win. But at the same time, they didn't think that they were going to be the only, like, big targets in this season. They thought that Dan and Derek would be there, and, like, Casey and Josh. So they thought that they would have people that they could, like, hide behind for a while, and maybe they could make it a little bit further into the game. But they agree, like, they're here for sport. They're not just, like, here to win. They're not going to be, like, selling stuff on Instagram after this. Cool. But the fakeness is driving them crazy. It's a lot at times. So Kaiser starts getting emotional. He actually starts crying, just talking about how hard it was to watch Unicole break down last week. And it just wasn't her fault that she was having such a hard time. She was still dealing with stuff from last season. And he says, like, after a certain point, this stuff is not funny or interesting anymore. And I know exactly what he's talking about, because you know how it gets all, like, exciting when there's drama and somebody's, like, freaking out, but then, like, you see the toll that it's taking on them and how upset they actually are, and you're just like, this is not fun to watch. Like, this is just making me sad and upset. But he says you don't want to see a human being break like that. So Janelle is trying to encourage him, telling him it's not over yet. One of us is going to be staying this week, so you got to keep your head in the game. But she was being very comforting for him. And later in the chat, they turn it back to game a little bit. They agree that they would be cool with Tyler winning this season if it's not going to be one of them. They agree that he's a nice person. He's a good gamer. They really like him. Again, like, these people who are so positive about the person putting them up. But I mean, like, in this situation, like, Janelle and Kaiser, no, there's, like, no chance either of them are going to win. So yeah. But anyway, Big Brother opened up the backyard for the house guests last night. Christmas had to do more of her punishment out there. She had to do, like, 50 laps at a time with the star baby. And, like, she had to do this throughout the night, too. She got woken up a few times, I'm pretty sure, to do stuff. Nicole continues to make herself the victim. She was talking to Christmas and telling her all about the couple guys, couple tries comment from Bailey. I get why she's doing this, but it's annoying to watch her, like, continue to spread around this negativity around Bailey when this could be squashed so easily. And Bailey wasn't even saying this in a malicious way. But I guess it just goes to show you that Nicole already sees that Janelle's going to be walking out the door. So she's like, I need a new person who's going to be, like, the aggressor to my victim. And apparently that person is Bailey, so that sucks. But anyway, other than that, Kevin and Day had a late night on the hammock. They were chatting for a long time. And, oh my God, I just can't deal with Kevin's horrible reads. It's too much. He was talking a lot of shit about Janelle and how, like, she doesn't work with women and blah, blah, blah. It was just too much. And I think Day also admitted to Kevin that she's got a crush on David, but she does not want it to affect her game. Okay. And then today, is it going to be a slow day? It's been a slow morning so far, but I mean, they could just be getting revved up. Who knows? I don't know if Janelle or Kaiser are even going to bother trying to make a pitch to Cody and or Tyler. I mean, Kaiser might try. I don't know. It's obviously probably not going to work, but he might try just to try. Yeah. And then the power veto ceremony should be tomorrow. And I think we all know what's going to happen. Chances are Cody will not be using the power of veto. Okay. Okay. Hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So that brings us to the end of today's spoiler. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. And I want to give a special thanks to all of our super chatters today because you guys are awesome. Yes. So I want to thank the birthday boy, Shane Shaji. Hope you're having an amazing day.
Happy birthday.
Yes. And thank you so much. I want to thank, we got a lot of repeat super chatters here. Super awesome. We've got Mike D.
Super awesome chatters.
Yeah, we've got Rachel McClung. Thank you so much. Molly Engel. Thank you. And Books and Quirks. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. So let us know what you think about all this in the comments.
We'll be back tonight.
Yeah, we'll be back tonight for tonight's episode recap. But until then, it's time to see Granny. So until next time, guys, much love. Bye.